Why Conor McGregor will not fight Michael Chandler this year. Mixed martial arts fans around the world thought they were in for a treat when Conor McGregor announced he would be returning to the octagon in 2023. McGregor is undoubtedly the most famous name in the history of MMA, and while he no longer needs to fight for the cash, it seems the Irishman is keen to return and compete for the love of the sport. Fans have eagerly awaited an official announcement for the return of McGregor for most of 2023. Yet, with each passing day, a potential fight this year seems less and less likely. In this video, we'll explore the possibility of McGregor returning to the UFC before the end of the year and why it's unlikely to happen. Conor McGregor is still considered the face of the fight game by his loyal following around the world. Even though he's only fought a handful of times in the last 5 years, he's remained a relevant aspect of the sport. McGregor only has one victory under his belt since 2016, yet he believes there's enough gas in the tank to become the UFC champion one last time before retirement. If McGregor were to return to the octagon this year, it would be his first since the highly anticipated trilogy fight with Dustin Poirier back at UFC 264 in 2021. Unfortunately for McGregor and his loyal fans, he was finished in the first round following a horrendous break to his lower tibia. While Poirier was quick to suggest the injury occurred when McGregor tried to check a low kick, the Irishman denied these claims, believing he made a mistake on his behalf. Regardless of how the injury happened, it left McGregor unable to train on his leg for nearly a year. 9 months after the injury in April 2022, McGregor was given the go-ahead to train using his leg, and since then, fans have been eager to hear an announcement on when we may see the former champ return. Fans finally thought progress was being made when Dana White announced back in February that McGregor would be returning as a coach on this year's season of The Ultimate Fighter. He would share the spotlight with Michael Chandler, a fighter known for his explosive style and highly entertaining fights. This matchup instantly gained the attention of fans around the world. The pair would first serve as rival instructors before meeting inside the octagon after the show's culmination. It was all set up to become one of the best-selling pay-per-views of 2023, and Dana White was already rubbing his hands together thinking about the money. But during the lead to the show, one problem was becoming increasingly apparent. McGregor had not been in the USADA testing pool since his horrific injury back in 2021. In order for McGregor to fight this year, he had to re-enter the USADA testing pool and acquire 6 months of clean tests before he would be cleared to fight. McGregor's absence from the testing pool has not only prohibited him from fighting, it's also started to inspire rumors centered on the idea that he'd been using performance-enhancing drugs during his injury and even after his recovery. USADA trouble. No one can ignore the fact that McGregor has put on an incredible amount of muscle mass since his recovery. If we compare him to his featherweight and lightweight days when he weighed as little as 145 pounds to now, where he could be as heavy as 200 pounds, it's a startling difference. Another strong piece of evidence that suggests McGregor may have been using the sauce relates back to the horrific break he suffered against Dustin Poirier. Some medical experts suggested McGregor may never kick again with the broken leg, yet miraculously he was kicking just 9 months after surgery. Many have attributed this impressive recovery to steroids, and when we add in the remarkable accumulation of muscle mass, it's hard to rule out the possibility of PEDs. Could this be the reason why McGregor never re-entered the USADA pool following a successful recovery? Well, according to him, there seems to have been a misunderstanding. McGregor was under the impression that 2 clean tests would be sufficient to allow him to fight, ultimately suggesting that the 6-month rule did not apply to him. USADA made a public statement to contradict McGregor and suggest otherwise. This led McGregor firing back at the anti-doping agency via an onslaught on Twitter. The Irishman began by calling USADA a garbage organization. He followed this up with a string of voice notes, finishing with a tweet that read as follows: USADA is going in the bin. This is my issue. I've not lied once, nor have I tested positive. Ever. I have over 70 clean tests under this program, yet they're consistently coming out after I speak in a manner that makes it seem I'm lying. It's ridiculous. Fuck USADA. You are in the bin. McGregor did not make it into the testing pool. Although McGregor now seemed to have beef with USADA, fans were still hopeful that he would enter the testing pool before the cutoff point for the year. The final UFC card of 2023 is penciled in for December 16th, which means McGregor would have to have submitted the first clean test by June 16th, yet USADA confirmed that McGregor had not submitted a test sample. So where does this leave us in regards to when we may see McGregor return to the UFC's octagon? As it stands, we believe it's extremely unlikely that McGregor will face off against Michael Chandler this year. Chandler called out McGregor on various occasions, asking about the holdup. Yet the Irishman has given little to no explanation for his decision to refrain from submitting a sample. Unfortunately for Chandler, it looks like he may have to wait until 2024 for his red panty night. However, there's a chance that it may not happen at all. Rumors have been circulating suggesting McGregor is no longer interested in a fight with Michael Chandler. As a result, Dana White may be forced to come up with replacement options for the new year. Henry Cejudo has backed up these claims by suggesting that Chandler may not be a big enough fight for McGregor. He explains that Chandler may not offer McGregor a path to implying that the fight is a lot of risk and very little reward. Cejudo believes that Conor's star power could be enough to warrant a return fight against the current 155 or 170 champ. But as it stands, all we know for sure is that McGregor is willing to return at some point. As for when, that is still up for debate. If we're to take the Irishman's word for it, then no doubt we will see him return before long. In several interviews, McGregor claimed that we will not only see him return for a single fight with the UFC, he's planning on fighting at least 4 or 5 times over the next few years. As of July, it appears McGregor is still well and truly planning on returning to the fight. A tweet sent out by him at the start of the month reads, "I look forward to my upcoming fight. I'm well in preparation." It's possible that Dana has a trick up his sleeve, considering UFC 300 will be going down in April of 2024. It's an impressive milestone for the company, and no doubt they'll want to have some of the biggest names in MMA on the card, which could include McGregor. April 2024 seems like an achievable date for McGregor's return. If McGregor refrained from entering the USADA pool because he needed an extra few months to flush out whatever evidence may be left in his system, it would be long gone by the end of summer. This means he could enter the testing pool by September and be eligible for UFC 300 in April. But there are an infinite number of variables when it comes to the former champ. Dana has said on several occasions that it can be difficult working on scheduling conflicts with McGregor. On top of this, the Irishman has an extensive business empire that requires never-ending promotion. Considering all of these factors, fans can't help but question whether or not we will ever get to see McGregor return to the octagon. Whatever the reason behind McGregor's decision to withhold from entering the USADA testing pool, ultimately, it seems we will not see him return to the octagon in 2023. While this may be difficult for some fans to hear, if we believe McGregor's words, it won't be long before we see him compete again. Let us know what you think about McGregor's potential return in the comments section. Will the Irishman ever fight for the UFC again? Is there a chance we'll see him take on Chandler at the beginning of 2024? Or, as Cejudo has suggested, will McGregor's next fight be for a title? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel for everything MMA related.